Metalheads, Nicole here, Night Owl Princess. I do rock and metal themed videos. If you have first time seeing your channel, welcome to my channel. I am Night Owl Princess here on YouTube, and of course I have a Facebook fan page. I go by Nicole. So I just thought today that I would share a very interesting video that I found. And doing these research for these videos, if I see something that I think is very, very interesting, I would definitely want to share it with you guys. So in this video, I wanted to share the philosophy of heavy metal and its impact on us as a society. So let me just get right into the video. Okay. It's almost incredible how much the music we listen to directly connects with who we are. I definitely agree with that, because who we are and what we like directly connects with us and our spirit and our innermost being. But you think, unfortunately, fans of heavy metal or other extreme genres of music are often completely misunderstood and pretty unfairly judged. People seem to automatically assume that we are aggressive or unstable or even unintelligent, but that's quite okay, because a lot of people think that, oh, just because you're heavy metal means you're unfairly judged. It's just really, it's not good. Okay, they automatically assume we are aggressive, which we're not. We're probably the most humble, laid back people you want to meet. So I have the fan running. Been running air a little while ago. I'm sweltering. Okay, but that's far from the truth. So in this video today, I wanted to explore some of the psychology behind heavy metal music and its personality traits. So actually lead to be a preference for metal based on science instead of stereotypes. So here we go into the science of it. I'll be summarizing multiple previewed research studies on the topic. So in this video we're going to do that. So okay, research which is widely accepted as gold standard in personality psychology and also may be preferred mythologically, so I feel very confident in the findings. However, before we dive in, it's super important to remember that we're talking about correlations here, not what people misunderstand about us as metalheads. So this means that a certain personality traits mean to draw people into heavy metal music rather than the music somehow creating these traits for them. So we're drawn to that genre of music. We're drawn to the heavy metal genre because it's I'll get into that part. So you have to have a certain personality to be drawn into that. And I guess with my personality and with everyone else's personality, that, we're drawn into that. The music somehow creating these traits in them, and as well as we're aware of metal is a huge genre. Yes, we are aware of that. Okay, so after hearing all these conclusions, it certainly doesn't mean that we are any less of a fan. So with all that being said, the traits which are openness to experience this art that we call heavy metal. Um, Linking heavy metal to other insane rebellious music. When someone scores high in openness, it means they are intellectually curious. They love adventure. They're open to unusual ideas. They have a great imagination and they're willing to try new things. So nearly 100%, and I think when we think about metal, this connection makes complete sense. So um, when you think of openness and imagination, you definitely think of a heavy metal. So the genre is known for its intricate musical and complex arrangements and emotional intensity that qualifies naturally appeal to people seeking meaningful artistic expressions and intellectual stimulation, in addition to high openness and often linked to a broader appreciation for art in general. Okay, so art and metal go completely together because metal is an art. And it, let's see, and it, intellectual stimulation and addition, it high openness is often linked to a broader appreciation for art. I already said that. And direct sound of metal can, um, and it represents everything it represents, which is uncontroversial compared to mainstream music. Seems to resonate in pop in particular. With those who are drawn to non-traditional ideas, I think we can clearly see the connection here. So we can see the connection here so far. Um, but when, but what about the other traits in the big five? Well, while they do not have nearly as strong of a connection to metal music, preferences and openness does they did find some pretty interesting connections. So let's go ahead and go through them one by one. The studies fairly consistently showed a negative link to um, agreeableness, meaning that people who prefer intense and rebellious music do tend to score lower in this trait, which I kind of, which I know kind of sounds like it's, going against the stereotype here. Or many just seem highly ignorant, given that metal heads are usually a lot nicer than they look. But when we look at the actual facts, agreeableness is actually makes a lot more sense. Lower scores don't necessarily mean that someone is rude or unkind. I mean, it can, but it can also mean that they might just be skeptical of others, or more direct, more likely to challenge authority or value nonconformity, which we already know has strong correlations. So I think that what we're really seeing here, these traits align with the values that are often celebrated in metal culture, like honesty. So we're honest, we're true to ourselves, we're true to what we like. Independence and honesty, independence, and standing up for what you believe in. So overall, it's not necessarily a negative reflection. Because a lot of people think just because you listen to heavy metal music that you're you know, all these negative, you're mean, you're, no, no. I think it just points to a stronger emphasis on authenticity and resonance. To social pressure. Okay, let's go on. We showed another negative. Okay, you know, these videos just go on and on. I mean, it's not really video, it's notes that I've taken from a video that I previously saw and I really liked, and I thought I wanted to do this. Okay, conscientiousness. Let's see if I can scroll on. The people who are drawn to heavy metal music, especially the more chaotic and more external subgenres, may indeed score a little bit lower here. However, like the agreeableness, lower concentration does not mean a lack of values or ambition. In fact, the studies actually acknowledge that many metal fans show deep commitment to their music and community and their beliefs, just not always. Excuse me. In what ways that look traditionally disciplined from the outside. So let's go ahead and move on. So extravation. Extravation doesn't show a strong or consistent link to liking heavy metal. I know we always hear about metal fans being more introverted or even antisocial, but the significant evidence for a strong connection just really is not there. Some studies do show a mild correlation with being an introvert, basically being an introvert. So when you're an introvert, you're more likely to be in the heavy metal music. But as far as being antisocial, that could not be further from the truth. As in fact, there is not even something that is directly linked to being an introvert and actually many fans. Okay, narcissism. System. Can't even say it. That is the relationship between narcissism seems to have almost correlating finds. Some studies showed a link that slightly higher scores and suggested that people high in this trait might actually be drawn to intense music, emotions which we can directly see, but before it is not. Some research showed that metal fans actually have similar or even lower rates of mental health issues like depression or anxiety. See, I have depression and anxiety, so I'm just one of the few that do. You know, I guess as far as I know, I'm one of the few, but I know me and my one best friend, she has it as well. Compared to a general population, either way, I think that points to something that fans already know, which is that metal usually serves as a healthy coping mechanism rather than a reflection. So it's good for us. So that's about it. I know this video is quite long, but I just wanted to, show you guys something interesting that I found. So hope you guys enjoy this. Rock on, keep it metal. I'll see you next video.